Hi, a little bit about account security. Did you know a lot of hacking that happens? I mean, there have been a lot of instances of hacking nowadays. A lot of hacking happens not because Instagram is not so secure platform, or not because Instagram has some kind of technical bugs or loopholes, but it's more about uh, people who own the account tend to get vulnerable in some different ways, either through phishing attacks or social engineering or opting for certain risky steps while using their device or using other apps, browsers, etc. So just wanted to hop on and share a little bit about it. So, first step, your password. Now, a lot depends on how or what kind of password do you have. So first, the longer is the password, the better. Now, even there, what I would say is, do not opt for words, phrases that are meaningful, and avoid names of places, names of celebrities, even famous song lyrics. Avoid that. Are you aware the tools, the hacking tools that are out there available in the market for any, and you don't need to be hacker to hack accounts. You can just be a guy who are a little bit technically sound, and have hands on certain tools that are available in the market, either paid or even free. You can download tools from torrent for free. Or now the Telegram has been emerging out since couple of 2-3 years, so even there people get things for free. So you just need an intention and a little bit of knowledge and you're good to go. Anyway, so these tools that are available in the market generally tend to have a list of possible passwords. Now, what are these passwords? These are the passwords that people in general use for their accounts, and you will be surprised to realize the list is as long as containing hundreds of thousands of passwords, if not millions. So your password has to be really unique, because that is the first step. The first step the app or that software, that hacking tool is going to do is check if your password is matching with any of the passwords that are existing in the list. And then the next steps, if not, then it will take the next steps to crack the code. So make sure your password is as unique as possible. Do not use places, celebrities, lyrics, song lyrics, or any other words, phrases that make sense. All right, next step is, so how would you remember the password? Now, from a perspective of somebody like me, who is into a profession of digital marketing, who have almost 200 or 300 passwords, from my perspective, I would certainly opt for a password manager, which I really need because I have lots of passwords. But if you are not into digital marketing and you just have a bunch of passwords that you need to remember, and even in my case, if there are certain accounts that I need to remember passwords for, this is what I do and this is what I would recommend. You can write down something that makes sense to you. Hi. So you can write down something that makes sense to you and then convert it into something that does not make any sense, or it makes kind of a random string of characters. How do you do that? First, have a kind of a code that only you know. A code, for instance, converting a certain alphabet into a specific character. So to give you a hint or an example, let's say there is character alphabet M, and whenever you have to hi and whenever you have to write alphabet M, you always write a certain symbol or a special character that resembles visually to alphabet M. Now it may or may not resemble, but you have to remember that, okay, if there is a character M or alphabet M in my password, I'm going to convert it into this particular special character. So, and a lot of hacking also happen when people get access to your system. So generally Apple devices don't have this kind of risk, but if you're using Windows laptop or desktop, or in case you are using Android, then this can happen. Now specifically I'm talking about Windows desktop systems. So let's say a lot of people have this habit of saving their passwords in let's say a doc file, or a file that is saved on their device that can be accessed offline. So there could be softwares or tools that you might have installed, or somehow, I mean, it's very easier to get access of your system now. You would not even realize, but people could be sneaking into your files that you have saved on your account. So you would not realize that, but people could be downloading or accessing your files. Now that is where you become vulnerable. If you have your passwords saved on your system in a file that you are accessing offline. So first, avoid that. If you are doing it, use this technique where you are writing down your password. That makes sense, but it's not the right password, because when you are going to use the password, you are obviously going to convert certain elements of that into something else according to your own code that only you know. Hi. So that way, even if somebody have access to your file, they cannot really use your passwords. So that's another way. And about Android, what I would say, in case you are using, about Android, a lot of times we browse our internet and click on certain pop-ups that we are not supposed to click upon, or we even end up, yeah, this one is a good one. We might end up downloading certain APK files. Now it's pretty common if you're, I mean, I was an Android user, so it's pretty common to download apps which are not available on Play Store, because they kind of give us extra features that are not really available. For example, YouTube downloader, the simplest example that I can give. So you can browse YouTube, you can download YouTube, you can access YouTube without ads. So these are the kind of apps that you might get tempted to download, and when you do, that's where you get more vulnerable to such hacking attacks. Again, I'm saying you might not realize that, where people could be accessing your data, and in case they get access to the kind of data that they can use, let's say passwords, then they are going to do that, because that is the reason why they have put up that APK file, that particular app, for free on the internet for people to download. We never know the intentions, you know. So that about Android. So I'm just letting you aware of the risk factors while you are living your daily life, ordinary life, with respect to these devices or apps or softwares. So that is one thing. And another thing that I can think of is again, two-factor authentication. Make sure you have it on. And also in case you have missed my last live, I mentioned that avoid two-factor authentication that is based on your SIM card. Now these are the layers that adds extra security. Now if you're using your Instagram page for professional reasons, then these steps certainly make sense to you. Now why to choose